resist. UK resist.
No worries.
UK must resist.
No worries.
Okay, guys, so we are live. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Thanks for listening. Today will be the outcome of the Julian Assange case. We're a little late, but we're still in time. I think there's about 30 minutes left before we know everything. So thank you all for listening. Please share it around. We'll try to give you live updates, and we have Rico Brouwer in and Ilka Tifo, our special guests, and I know Deepa is in the courthouse now in the Old Bailey. She was not allowed to take a camera or even a glass of water. When she comes out, she promised to be on air too. So thanks everyone for listening, and make
Hello,
sure.
everybody.
Hey, okay. Hey, so what do you guys? I woke up a little late. What do you guys know about what's going on already? Like, I read that consortium news was even like under attack, like under.
Yeah, well, at the moment, you can hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you fine. Yeah. Go ahead.
For what I've seen at the moment, there is big pressure from the police outside the Old Bailey Court in London. Many of the supporters have been pushed away from the place. There is in place Tier 4 of the COVID restrictions. So only the people that are allowed, journalists there for work, can stay. So
Yeah.
again, of limits to freedom of speech, freedom of the press in front of the Old Bailey this morning. What was expected, nothing more than expecting from today.
Then inside the court, they started late. Audio to the secondary courtroom where the journalists are is poor as usual, and they have started now. One of the remarks, judge said, free speech rights do not provide unfettered discretion by Mr. Assange to decide what he's going to publish. So there's your limitation for free speech inside the courtroom as well.
Okay.
What we're doing here is watch a bunch of journalists twittering, making quotes, what's happening in courtroom. Stefania Marisi said, Assange is there in that glass cage again, and he's lost weight.
Okay, so the judge started speaking about the UK Extradition Act versus the Extradition Treaty, right? The judge rejects the political offense defense because the treaty is not incorporated into UK law. Let me see. And they're citing Assange speech during the CCC event. It's interesting that they said that because that was a part of accusations of recruiting hackers, etc. So it doesn't start out good then, if that is all the case.
No, it doesn't start. Just a technical thing. Il Cativo says, I can't hear Rico. Are you hearing me now?
Oh, that's weird. He can't hear you. I can hear you, by the way, Rico. So it does show. You can hear it in the stream. Il Cativo, can you check if you have him muted or something? Oh, yeah. 1 second. Okay.
Okay, problem fixed. Now, Rutley is covering it from outside courtroom, where everybody's twittering, I think, currently.
Okay. Okay. I see a lot of updates. I have to get a little bit connected to it. I'm glad there are updates available, by the way. I mean, it is sad.
Naomi Colvin just said it's a pretty one-sided ruling so far.
Disgusting. Like, I'm disgusted by this, right? I mean, what the hell is this even? What the hell is this even? Like, why is a journalist even on trial right now? That's my personal problem already. Like, this shouldn't even be happening. Okay. Okay, we're on 102 viewers. I think people are definitely interested. Guys, if you have problems with the Periscope stream, you can do the YouTube stream too. There is a chat on there, and this is always very active. Just saying. Put the YouTube link. The YouTube stream too. There is a chat on there, and this is always very active.
Maybe a little anecdote from Amsterdam. Shall I tell you what happened yesterday?
Yeah, do that. Yeah, tell us something about that. It was like a big protest yesterday in Amsterdam for Assange.
Yeah, there were two protests I know of. One was for Assange. I was there. There was another one with hundreds or maybe thousands of people protesting the corona measures. But just the juxtaposition, those two, there were like 50 people in front of the American embassy in Amsterdam. And then a cop showed up and tried to get us all 1.5 meter distance and all those things. There's just like 50 people singing their free Assange stuff to the American embassy, but the thousands of people like 30 kilometers away on the other demonstration, they were happily standing together, singing, having a stage. So that was a weird intimidation thing on a very small pro-Assange demonstration, which was very hopeful, and we were doing something in the Netherlands.
Was there any press there at the Free Assange demo?
There were some journalists invited, there were some politicians invited, and there were none except for me.
Oh yeah, of course. At least you're always there, right? That's all we need.
At least we have one. Well, I'm also bitching about Mr. Tim de Wit, who's the foreign correspondent for Dutch public broadcasting. He's not saying anything about the Assange ruling just yet. I mean, that's supposed to be his job. He's tweeting about Corona stuff.
Oh yeah, he's that guy. We heard him on the radio, and he was like literally repeating the official narratives that Assange was like involved with hacking and all these things. He was pretty much just repeating it. But he was the only journalist talking about it from the mainstream back then. It was
Yeah,
on.
this was
It was on.
February. That's quiet in September. So the big leg of the extradition hearing, he wasn't commenting on it at all. But in that first week, on the Monday morning, he was on national radio in the Netherlands, repeating the American position. That's pretty much all reporting he's done. So I'm following him now, and he's still not. He's going to talk once the judge has a ruling, especially when it's not in favor of Assange.
That is incredible, by the way, that any mainstream media outlet in the world just speaking about what the USA are accusing, and nobody mentioned that in last September the defense team destroyed every single accusation on Julian Assange. This is the point. There is no single media outlet that let the people know that last September the defense team destroyed every single accusation on Julian Assange.
Exactly. And the big problem is it affects all journalists, right? So every single journalist should be talking about this.
Here's an interesting thing that Kevin Costola has just tweeted out. He says, barrister, so the judge, says prosecutors brought charges against Assange in good faith, so prosecution has standing. Then he says, also asserts insufficient evidence that decision was made not to prosecute Assange under Obama. So the point that was brought forward, I think, was Obama allowed free speech, free press to interfere with prosecution of Assange, and judge says, well, no, we just don't know why Obama didn't do anything.
Yeah, I was just reading another tweet at the moment by James Dolman that say U.S. intelligence might have had legitimate reasons to monitor Assange in the embassy, as they may have legitimately considered him a threat to national security. Yeah, so they are allowed to do whatever they want, despite any law or international law or human rights. Well,
If judge is going to rule that there were legitimate reasons for Spain, on behalf of the United States, to install eavesdropping software and cameras in the embassy while he was enjoying his asylum there.
but in this way, if you cut out principal right that the person have when he's accused, it's like to say that the person is already in jail without any trial. There is no need of a trial. That's why we call it a show trial, because there is it's just a show. There is nothing important to say from both the parts. It's just a person waiting to say, okay, let's give this man to USA. This is what we are watching.
Yeah, window dressing, making appearance.
Okay, we got a lot of updates coming in for sure. So the judge finds it isn't in her place to comment on the embassy spying case that is being handled in Spanish court, and this court doesn't have access to these documents, is what she says.
Right, okay, let's summarize that. So the Americans under Obama had every reason to not do anything. That's what she says. Like collect evidence. And then the collecting of evidence, she's not ruling on that one. But since they did collect it, even though she's not commenting on it, they will probably. I'm jumping the gun here, but they will probably have legitimate reasons to bring this case forward. So that's the way it's going to be spun.
There is some update from John Rees from the Don't Extradite Assange committee saying that the judge refused to accept that USA is being extradited for his political views. And the judge refused to take Trump hostility to Assange. The judge refused to take notice of Spanish case because that case is still in process.
Okay.
He's refusing everything. He's refusing everything.
So what you're saying is the defense is the arguments of the defense are being put aside. She's not taking those into account. She's going step by step through whatever the defense brought forward in September.
This is another incredible thing. The judge says, I'm reading a tweet from James Dolleman on Twitter, any harm caused to Assange's family by his extradition is nothing unusual in this kind of proceedings. This is incredible.
Okay. Yeah, so the updates are going fast. I think there will be an outcome in like 30 minutes because they're a little late. Okay, and okay, the judge has it appears that he has found that Assange is in violation of the Official Secrets Act. And if proven, allegations would therefore amount to offences in this jurisdiction that would not be prosecuted by not be protected by his freedom of speech. So the judge has, yeah, it is because it has to do with the Official Secret Act. He's not protected under freedom of speech. Okay, so this doesn't look good, to be honest. It starts out like this. That's very, very bad news.
We're just waiting for the inevitable.
We are actually. If people listening to this, the mainstream media will be jumping on over this. I see that we have over 100 listeners. It was like up to 200 a second ago. If you're listening to this, make sure to tweet using the hashtag Assange, because the mainstream media will be all over this, discrediting Assange, discrediting Assange supporters, discrediting the importance of free press. But you can actually do something about that, and because you just have to be on the trending topic of hashtag Assange too and speak out. This is very, very important right now, because this might be the biggest day in for now. There will be an appeal if he loses, but for now it's the biggest day, so this is really important that you make a stand now. So
Okay, your comment, Mark. There are people suggesting that he might be denied appeal. Is there any feasibility to that?
no, I don't think that will be the case. No, they have he will have 7 days to fill in the appeal and go to a higher court. I know people are scared that everything is rigged. That might be true. That there is too much influence from the outside. Shouldn't be happening, but the case is so big, we can expect that. But he always has the right to appeal. 7 days was already said. Yeah, I mean, that can take another 2 or 3 years, right? And a higher court, a higher judge will rule over it.
Well, in the end, was the first target, since they in some way jail him inside the embassy. Because the target is the objective is to make Julian Assange disappear, to weaken him in some way, and to make disappear everybody that wanna tell the truth. So in some ways, it's not the final objective, of course, bring him in USA. But for there, I think is already enough to keep him jailed in this situation, tortured. So taking time and postpone other 3 years, like Mark was saying before, that's their target.
Yeah. So if it is an intimidation strategy, which I think it is, then when he appeals, it won't be bad for them because they can keep him in this situation for another 2-3 years and intimidate other journalists.
Exactly.
Okay. So when the judge was repeating the U.S. Harm claims, this is according to the DEA campaign, even though the Manning trial proved that no harm had come from WikiLeaks disclosure. Isn't that sad, actually?
Mary Kostadidis, another observer of the hearing, is tweeting about the judge. She doesn't accept any defense arguments. All constitutional protections she believes will be made available to him. New. A US court will ensure that Assange will get the legal protections the Constitution judge says. It's like they are saying after all of this situation so long, for years, a decade or at this point, they are just saying, don't worry about Julian, we will take care about him. This is what they are, all of us.
So in the defense case, the case made by defense of Assange, they must have commented on the rule of law in UK also. So this judge should respond to him not having access to papers, not having access to lawyers and all the rest of that, or not?
I suppose yes, of course. But for what I can say in my position when I was there in front, physically in front of the court, the sense of no sovereignty of UK. You are just in a part of London when USA rules. This is the kind of feeling you get when you are in front of a situation. So really, it doesn't unfortunately surprise me a lot what I'm watching in this moment live from the Old Bailey. This morning, Rebecca from Reporters Sans Frontières was tweeting about all the difficulties in front of the entrance. They were promised to have the access, and then they denied the access, and they push away the people, and they keep doing whatever they want, despite any kind of precedent in the history of the Human Rights Treaty and all the rest of international laws. And what make me surprised, so if we are used to it, no one single media is talking about the importance of today, what's going on today in England. This is incredible.
That's pretty much what happened after 2010. I mean, WikiLeaks and Assange, they reported on the war crimes, and then in the 10 years following, journalism has been replaced by what we're enduring currently by our mainstream outlets.
Yes. It's not just creating fake news about all of these and the smearing and all the rest. It's just the omission they have done for such a long time.
An interesting remark by Joshua Rosenberg on Twitter, and Naomi Colvin just retweeted that. Said no improper motives for bringing charges, no evidence Manning was tortured, so no breach of Article 6 of the Human Rights Charter. Thing is, so the judge in UK is ruling on whether or not Manning was tortured. That's not in her. So that's not something she can rule on, is it?
No, not at all. No. It is funny that she does that, but she says she can't rule on the espionage case by UC Global. It's also a foreign country, right?
Exactly, and also on the findings by Niels Meltzer that Assange himself had been tortured, including in Belmarsh prison.
It's Mohamed Belmazi tweeting now, this court trusts that the USA court will properly consider or is gone. Like I was saying before, by the way, that they will take care about Julian Assange. They will properly consider Assange's right to freedom of speech. Well, personally, I really don't care about any single of these things that they are saying about the fact that they will take care about Julian Assange. We all knows what's going on in those kind of prisons.
Okay,
And
so
we know what's happening past already, so...
okay, I'm reading from Taylor Hudak 9 seconds ago, and she says a judge says this court trusts a U.S. court will respect Assange First Amendment rights. Well, I spoke about that yesterday, and they won't, because he is trialed under the Espionage Act and under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, which are two things which are part of the indictments, like the accusation that he was involved with hacking, accusation that he was involved in espionage. This completely removes the protections, the free speech protections. So, no, the judge can't just say that. If she is even educated in U.S. laws, she knows that that is not true. So another disgusting part in this whole story.
I'm reading now from Assange defense that the judge accepted the opinion that Assange suffered from a recurrent depressive disorder and accepted that he has Asperger's. But I was thinking, if he accepted that have Asperger, should not at all be extradited.
But that would actually be good news, because both Laurie Love and before that Gary McKinnon in both cases, in both cases was extradition refused under the Asperger's thing. I said, like, the U.S. System is not capable to handle Asperger's patients in their prison system. So. When you read a new update, just mention them on air. I'm making a little tweet. All the listeners, you can just drop updates. All the updates. All listeners, you can just drop updates in the chat too if you have opinions. Just mention them on air. Use the YouTube chat; it's easier. No, Major Tom says Gary McKinnon wasn't extradited. Exactly, it was because of the whole Asperger's situation. So, yeah.
This is an important point. Looks like the judge at the moment is going through some private medical information that probably is not good to share some details. That they are moving forward about the situation about the Asperger.
Okay.
Can you elaborate on Laurie Love and what happened in that situation then on the medical grounds?
Yeah. So there was a ruling against him at first, but then they appealed at the higher court, and emphasis was put on the fact that the U.S. Prison system isn't capable of handling Asperger's patients, and they were asking for a prison sentence of up to 99 years, where in the UK he would only face 2.5 years. And and he literally made statements like, if I get extradited to the USA, I will take my life, because I can't be in the U.S. prison system. It just doesn't have it doesn't give the right help to Asperger's patients. and so and eventually that really helped in the Lori Love case. Give me 1 second on that. I'm just reading through all the updates. Okay, so to be exact, in the appeal by Lori Love, the judge said that it would be oppressive by reason of his physical and mental condition to extradite Lori Love to the USA. That's pretty much it. And they said, we accept that the evidence shows that the fact of extradition would bring on severe depression and that Mr. Love would probably be determined to commit suicide here or in America.
Yeah, just reading something from Richard Medhurst, tweeting a tail sentence from the judge that say, however, the overall impression is of a depressed man who is fearful about his future. Thank you, judge. Really.
Okay, so this would be an option that they rule him like guilty of everything, but they will say his Asperger's. We'll make sure that he can't be extradited, and okay, that would be a middle thing.
Yeah, but the judge that say that the impression after what is specified by Julian Assange in the last 10 years, she have the impression of a depressed man who is fearful about his future. This is a slap in the face of everybody fighting freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the health situation of Assange was brought forth by his defense, wasn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so now Kevin Costola is tweeting, the judge accepted the doctor's opinion that Assange suffers from recurrent depressive disorder and suffers from autism. I mean, it's on Twitter, you can self-censor all you like, but the judge is accepting a doctor's opinion on the health situation of Assange that got Lori Love released, so that's hopeful.
At the moment, Edward Snowden just tweeted, push the cause about Assange, retweeting Kevin Costola, that you were talking about now.
Okay. We have a lot of activity in the YouTube chat. Guys, if you want us to mention anything on air, just say it. I mean, I see Major Tom says they should focus on that in the appeal, Asperger's. Yeah, and they will. I mean, that was the same. It's actually the exact same situation as in Lori Love and Gary McKinnon case. That a lower judge creates a lot of trouble, and then at the higher court, the Court of Appeals, they will stop extradition over the Asperger's thing. Actually, they say the judge confirms that he has autism spectrum disorder and depression. So I would never wish that to anyone. In this case, it is actually good news for his situation, because there is a jurisprudence. They call that, right? That in previous cases ruled that the USA is a risky place to extradite to if you are on autism spectrum.
I was reading a very interesting tweet from Naomi Colvin at the moment that she's saying that Judge Bareitzer appeared to have accepted the defense medical case at its strongest. Julian Assange is severely depressed and has an autism diagnosis. This means a Lori Love style win on appeal is very possible. This is in fact pretty much how Lori's first instance ruling went to. Yeah, exactly. Is confirming what you were saying.
I think judge is going further than that. So Kevin Costola is just saying extradition would be oppressive by reason of Assange's mental health. So I just asked Naomi if it should be considered jurisprudence and judge should incorporate that in her ruling right now. You don't have to wait for an appeal for this argument to be made.
Just in this moment, I just read the defense for Assange. The judge saying, therefore, I rule it would be unjust to extradite Mr. Assange. The US has the right to appeal. I need a confirmation about this because this is big.
Annie Marici says the same thing. No extradition.
There is no extradition, guys.
Okay, so you have confirmed no extradition. Oh my god.
No. I need a more confirmation because I need to open a good battle in this case. Because,
Yeah.
it's just another step in our fight because nothing is stopping here, guys. We need to keep fighting hour by hour, not just day by day. But this is a huge win for us all today. So let's just confirm this info.
Just at this very moment, the emergency alarms go off in the Netherlands. So this is a drill, right? 12
Yeah, here
a.m.
too.
right now. This is cool.
Oh god, I need to tweet.
I'm tweeting about this too.
Let's update all the followers on Twitter. Let's make some noise, guys. Let's push the hashtags on Twitter now. Let's make the platform, the fucking platform, tremble. Everybody all over the world need to know what's going on today more than ever.
Okay, this is good news, guys. So reports coming in
very good
everywhere.
one.
I'm
This
amazed.
is a very. Oh my god, this is like Christmas together with Easter together with the New Year's Eve, all the same moment, guys.
Can we finally agree on bail, is what people are now saying. I mean, the United States is going to appeal.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, now it's time to go deep on detail and understand everything is going on. I can't trust. Can't trust.
Are there any more updates? This is like the main update, right? I mean, no extradition. Yeah. Well, and what else is he saying? Do we have more? I'm just quickly tweeting this out everywhere.
Three-quarters of an hour break to take instructions at the moment. The last news from the court. 45 minutes break.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's allowing the United States to file appeal. So Assange being released and re-arrested, likely or not. We should break also, Mark, then. What do you think?
45 minutes?
Yeah, we are all distracted doing multitasking stuff at the moment, I think. Sharing it.
All right, so far so good. Let's see if we can pick this up in 45 minutes then.
Yeah, okay. I will leave the stream on anyway. You guys, yeah, take a break. Let's see if I can put a little.
Yeah,
music
but I'm
on.
still here, just updating.
Okay. Take a break, and whenever you have updates, just jump in. Guys, if you're in the chat, keep sharing. The mainstream media is still going to jump on this and bring out the information we need.
Oh my.
Okay.
Ice cream time. Someone wrote in the chat now. At the moment here, I'm from Italy, guys, and here is still coffee time. Well, any hour here is coffee time. Someone is asking Mille Vanille about full update. Full update. Well, at the moment, the situation is that the judge decided for not extradition for Julian Assange. We are going deep on searching for details live from the court, from our friends and independent journalists from the base, in the place live. But I think anything is a consequence of the fact that she accepted all the medical issues and problem put on by last September by the defense team. You're welcome, Mille.
Okay, we have Taylor coming in now. In the chat.
Is Taylor Udak live?
Yeah, she's just entered the server. She can join the voice chat. She's called, yeah. I'm not going to mention her name, but Rico will probably laugh at it.
I'm sending the link about the YouTube streaming we are doing in this exactly moment. Please, guys, we are online. Share wisely. Share wide.
Yeah, okay, so this is actually good news. Like, I didn't expect it at all. But let's see
Not at all.
what they will do in the next 45 minutes. Like, I think they're pressing a lot of angry buttons, and someone is raging behind the computer now.
Marco was not prepared at all about an outcome like this. Instead, I was preparing the console and playing some records for you. Next time, I'll be prepared. I promise. But I was not so optimistic, to be honest.
Let's do some audio from outside the court building. Is that good, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, I want to see the guys. There is some live on Sputnik Live on YouTube. There is streaming at the moment from in front of the Old Bailey in London. And there is RT live streaming. So if you guys want to also check what's going on there.
In the end, he's not going to get out of jail today, right? I mean, this is cool that we're happy and all, but
yeah.
Yeah, but it's.
Sorry.
I see Gordon Dimack and all the guys in front of the Old Bailey. They are shouting loud, they're showing signs. Oh, finally, I see some happiness on those streets. I miss in this moment so much to be there, like anybody that listening us. We are there the same, virtually, but be there in this moment is a very historical moment for all of us.
Yeah, this is a historical moment. This is like the most unexpected thing, I think. We've been all so worried about him being that there would be a ruling against him today, and
Yeah,
everyone was scared of it. Like, we knew that there was so much corruption, and there were so many weird situations surrounding this case, and journalists were like kept out and everything. Like a limited amount of journalists accepted in the stream. So much biased reporting. So
this is a great thing. I think this is showing when the masses unite, cause have no kind of different color, red, white, black. There is just human rights on stake, freedom of speech, our basic. When the people unite and rise up and become loud in time, we can win. We can win. This is Trish. Yes, yes.
People outside are cheering. We should have been there today, right?
Oh. I see Eric, the legendary Eric, with his fist up on the sky, that is cheering. I see Jamie and all the guys from Defense Assange Committee, Hemi Batlin, and all the Team Assange London that is jumping really in the streets in this moment.
Okay, so the full judgment in the extradition case is available through judiciary.uk/judgments something, tweeted out by at Judiciary UK right now.
Okay, we are live now with you, Taylor. If you unmute yourself, you will be live.
Okay, hi.
Hey. So give us some quick updates. I mean, we already.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
the extradition is denied. I was actually very shocked by this because Judge Vanessa Bracer, spent quite a bit of time going through all of the reasons as to why she was not accepting the defense's arguments and evidence submitted in the case. So it was really looking like she was going to approve the extradition on all of the counts. That's where I thought we were headed. However, the reason why she eventually denied this extradition is because of the mental health aspect, and she felt that he would be at a great risk of committing suicide if extradited. And I did think for some time, if she does deny this extradition, it's either going to be based off of one of two issues, either the fact that he was spied on by American intelligence via Youth Global, or it would be because of his mental health. We saw this happen with Lori Love's case.
Yeah, so and I mentioned that before shortly too, the Lori Love case. I mean, you did like this huge interview with him, and he explained too that they also stopped extradition over the Asperger's or the thing because the U.S. system would put him at risk. So, would you say like the judge says like he's like guilty on everything except he is in danger in the USA, right? I mean, is that it?
Yes, because in a U.S. court system, he would be placed. He would be placed in SAMS, and that is special administrative measures. So it would very much limit his ability to be able to communicate with the outside world as well as other inmates. And this would likely be the case not only during pretrial, but also post-conviction. And to even be able to make a phone call, he would have to schedule the phone call 2 weeks in advance, make sure that an FBI agent is able to listen in on the call. I mean, you have no ability to have any relationships with your family members. And there's extreme isolation under these conditions as well. And because this is or would be a national security case, it is very likely he would be subjected to these SAMS restrictions. And that would cause somebody to have serious psychological problems. Anybody, even a mentally healthy person, would not be able to handle these restrictive measures because you are so isolated for such a long period of time.
Yeah, and they also said he was depressed already. That's also been like confirmed by the judge now.
Yes, and she accepted that. She accepted the defense's witnesses who came forward and said that he has depression, that he also has Asperger's, and is on the autism spectrum. So she was really sold on the medical evidence in this case. But I have to tell you, I was really, really shocked because, as I said, it was not looking good at first. She was really reciting a lot of, let's say, intelligence talking points, things that we know aren't true, that she believes that he would be given a fair trial in the United States, that the U.S. would respect his rights. I mean, basic things that we know just aren't true. She was repeating, so it was really concerning for quite some time.
Okay. Was there anything else you noticed? They're taking a 45-minute break now, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. Was there anything else you noticed about this? Well, what just happened? Was there anything else you want to mention?
Yeah, I'm going through my notes because there's a lot.
Kirk, who was also following the proceedings, that U.S. will appeal. Apparently, he's got information, or he's just imagining that this is going to happen. But this was the first person that makes the statement that U.S. will appeal.
I'm so sorry, it's breaking up a little bit.
Okay.
Can you repeat that?
Okay. He said that another journalist who also has access says that the U.S. will appeal, and he's not sure that is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so either side, we already knew either side was likely to appeal this decision, but the judge has to, or I don't know if the judge has to approve it, but that appeal has to be approved, and then the case will be heard at a higher court. So, yes, that is true. They will appeal this decision, and then I'm not sure it's clear at this time exactly as to what will happen to Assange right now, if he will remain in custody or if he will be released. I think we'll learn more about that in just a little bit here, but hopefully he is released. I mean, he's been held on remand for quite some time. It seems very, very unnecessary at this point, if it wasn't already. So while we are very optimistic and hopeful, you know, it's good to also be quite cautious and remember that the U.S. is likely to appeal. But I think we're still able to be happy with this decision.
Hello, Taylor, and thanks for your job as ever. I was asking exactly about the situation of Assange now, as soon as we have more detail, because it's important for his health at this moment. Arrived at this point, I think for all of us is really useful to understand the situation, about the physical situation about Julian and what's going on in the next days.
Yeah, I agree. The Doctors for Assange group has already made a statement that Assange needs to be seen by medical professionals. His health is declining. It has been declining since he was in the embassy, and that has only progressed over the past 2 years while he's been in Belmarsh prison. So hopefully he is let go so he could go home to his family. But I think we will again learn more about that in this next part of this court procedure. It is a little bit difficult to hear exactly what is being said in the court. They did fix the audio because many of us were complaining to them that the audio was quite poor. So we were able to hear a little bit better near the end, but I know I'm not in London right now, but I know that outside the court, they have been really trying to disrupt these protests under the guise of COVID restrictions. And I think that's really sad because I think it would be great to see everybody get together and show their support for the First Amendment and against this extradition and for free press. But unfortunately, there's been a lot of issues with police, even harassing Reporters Without Borders officials, just really outrageous and inappropriate. This should not be happening. The people should not be treated like this, professionals.
Yeah, I heard the same description in a small video posted by Gordon Dimmack before on Twitter. It was in front of the entrance and it was just saying that all the supporters were pushing and harassed and bullied away. And they were the journalists, in the end, they were not respecting the distance. They were packed in front with all the photographer and all the cameras in front of the entrance. So this is like targeting a specific part, the supporter of Julian Assange, to hide again as ever.
Exactly. I'm just getting word now that the decision is now available, so I am looking that up right now. We just got a message that it's available. I will tweet that out.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna open this battle with you guys in front of the.
Yes. Yes.
That's after something. I don't know if you can listen the bump of the top, but here.
This is such good news. Like everyone was so scared that she would rule against him, right? I mean, that's what we've all been preparing for. Like it's been going on for so long, and there was so much.
Cheers.
So much weird stuff happens around this case, and there was so much disinfo spread out, and such a limited amount of journalists were accepted in, and yeah, so much negativity, and then now this, right? Under medical grounds, though, but finally some good news, I guess.
Just a way to see a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, really, because it's been a long, dark tunnel until here.
Yeah, it is a long time. Okay, in a 45 minutes break, I wonder what will happen. Why they need a break so long? I think that, like I said, there are some people freaking out behind a computer right now, and I think in the US they're like,
Yeah.
they're beating each other up, like.
I think that they need for the attorneys to consult with one another to decide how they're going to proceed.
Okay.
So they needed some time, to decide what they want to do next, and that, of course, is the prosecuting attorneys. So there's still more to come, of course, in this case, and I will be following that. I will be live tweeting about that, and like I said, I expect them to appeal this decision. So this could drag on for quite a while, but we'll see.
I wonder in the Lori Love case, the health argument won his freedom in an appeal. So you would that be, would the Americans definitely go into appeal because they have lost a similar case in an appeal situation?
Yeah, we're in a different situation this time. So with Lori Love, the case was actually won on appeal. Initially, the judge did allow for the extradition. And then, of course, he did win on appeal. Now, one thing, because I did interview him, one thing that he told me that was really interesting, he said, well, these judges at the higher courts, they are not really controlled by, or how do I put this? They are no longer having to work their way up in their career. They're already at the highest level of their career. So they could rule more so ethically, and they're not bound to any sort of power structure. At least not as much as they are when they're on the level that Bracer is on right now. So that made sense. So it'll be... I'm curious to see how this will play out. I'm hoping, though, that today she will let him go and let him out of Belmarsh prison. I mean, that seems like the most appropriate decision she could make. It doesn't even make sense to hold him there because she denied the extradition request.
Yes, exactly. There is a point.
You'll need another bottle then.
Well, at the moment, I'm alone here. Virtually, I'm not alone, but in real life, yes, here at the moment. So one bottle, I think, is enough. Even if it's very important and historical day. Yes, I think there is no point to refuse to open up a little bit to Julian Assange situation about the health, give him more freedom. Probably it doesn't mean that they let him walk out free. At the same time, I want and we all want to make sure that Julian Assange is not kept again in isolation, freezing himself. Madam
Hello?
Anon is saying that she's on shock. We all are on shock at the moment, I think. Yes, I hear you, Taylor.
Okay, sorry, I'm just having trouble hearing. I don't have my headphones with me right now, so it's very, very, very muffled right now. I'm not really sure what else to add at this point because I don't want to give too much information and then turn out to be incorrect in the end because there's still a lot of questions that we still have that we will be able to have a better understanding of again once the court reconvenes. But I did see, well, I'm not even going to go there because I don't know if it's accurate, but I think that they may have, his side, the defense may have to apply for bail. Again, we'll learn more soon. But one thing that's interesting is that she could have approved the extradition on certain counts, but denied it on other counts. And she just chose to completely deny the extradition on all counts. So that was a really, really interesting decision that I wasn't expecting. But I'm beyond thrilled. And if you look at Twitter right now, I mean, people are shocked by this, but it was the right thing to do, and we'll learn more.
Yes, I was thinking at the moment that since it's an historical day for many reasons, because if was accepted the extradition was historical for another reason. At this point, I was thinking that, and thinking about what you were saying before about the judge sentence, you think is something is going to change between the connection from UK and USA? Because until now, we have seen, as I was telling before, a country that is just under USA decisions. Now something is changing after this. So I don't know if something is going to change on the political view. USA are not very happy about this day, what's happening today in London, I think. I was just reading now John Peter on Twitter that's saying Julian Assange has been discharged by the judge at the Old Bailey on grounds that he was too great a suicide risk to extradite to the USA. This is wonderful. It's a face-saving cover for the British to justify their disgraceful political trial of Assange on America's behalf. And this is exactly the point I was making before with my very bad English. The UK denying Assange, USA is creating the reason to be an historical day. I want to try to play. See if I can play for you. There is an interview live from Rebecca Vincent from Reports Sans Frontières. Let's see if I can do this.
My job to
I don't know if you guys can listen to
This is
it.
unacceptable in the United Kingdom in 2021. But there are also broader issues here of open justice that must be addressed. Proceedings in any case of public interest must be open to scrutiny by the media, by NGOs such as myself, professional observers that do this in countries around the world, and by members of the public. The restrictions we saw in this trial were unacceptable. So we will continue to advocate for reforms to open justice to in the United Kingdom. Thank you.
This is live in front of the Old Bailey in London. It was Rebecca Vincent from Reports Sans Frontières speaking.
For now, guys, thank you.
What I can see is a lot of people. I see Juan Passarelli, that is the video director from WikiLeaks, the one that made a fantastic documentary, one of the last and most beautiful documentary about the situation of Assange. People is going crazy, and I'm cheering with them and all of you in the chat, guys, live. Free Assange team today. The fight goes on, and today we can just cheer up ourselves and Julian. It's so beautiful to see all the team Assange London, all the guys I met live last September, to see them with red eyes hugging each other and cheering up. I'm so happy, guys.
What do you think of the result? That's what journalists. Si quieres en español, unas palabritas. Tengo que pensar. Tranquilo, por favor. To the cemetery. I don't use Even with most. It is funny also. This story, the Mars story, was because it's being politicized. It's been brainwashed.
Just getting the audio from the court, guys.
So are we still broadcasting, guys?
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes. So weird things are happening in the Netherlands right now. But also, this is Kativo, yeah? We're talking now, right? Did you catch that Greta Thunberg tweet like half a day ago?
Okay. You guys hear me okay? I'm not sure what happened there. Like, I was like muted for like half an hour or something. I don't know. You guys hear me okay? Okay, so I'm going to repeat something. You guys can hear me okay, right?
I see a lot of echo.
Yeah, I was myself. I had myself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So I'm going to mention something real quick. Judge Barretzer accepted virtually all of the allegations against Assange that made this a dangerous case for press freedom. Despite the fact that the request was rejected, there's plenty in this ruling to cause alarm, because someone else could easily be criminalized in the future. Now, I'm going to reread this because I think I have myself muted. So I'm going to read a part from the actual case judgment for you guys. So the judge said, I have no doubt that Mr. Assange has the determination, planning and intelligence also ascribed to Mr. Love in Lori Love versus United States of America. Dr. Deely described his intense focus and the rigidity and inflexibility of his thoughts, which characterize his autistic spectrum disorder, which in his opinion will increase his determination. As Professor Kopelman put it, Mr. Assange will not only find a way to suicide, but it will be executed with the single-minded determination of his ASD Asperger's. He has already made suicidal plans, which Professor Kopelman considered to be highly plausible, and taken steps to plan for his death, including by preparing a will and requesting absolution from the Catholic priest who attends the prison. Now, and second, this is 362. I accept that oppression as a bar to extradition requires a high threshold. I also accept that there is a strong public interest in giving effect to treaty obligations, and that this is an important factor to have in mind. However, I am satisfied that in these harsh conditions, Mr. Assange's mental health would deteriorate, causing him to commit suicide with the single-minded determination of his autism spectrum disorder. I find that the mental condition of Mr. Assange is such that it would be oppressive to extradite him to the United States of America. So that is pretty much it. You hear me okay, Ilka Tivo?
Yes, no, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, with the point you just made, I think would be logic to think that they give some more freedom to this man, recover, get back his health, even in the next days, I mean.
Yeah.
The meantime, Assange naturally is trending worldwide about Julian Assange and Free Assange and We Are All Assange hashtag are trending.
Oh, we got a compliment. We got a compliment that we actually read the document 13 minutes faster than Glenn Greenwald. Yeah, Glenn Greenwald. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Leo. Yeah, okay, guys. So I'm sorry we were muted for a while. There was some shit going on. I don't know. That's our live right now, right? I mean, if you have questions, drop it in the YouTube chat, guys. Seriously, I'm gonna mention everything on air. I'm waiting further updates from our links, and I'm still waiting for Deepa. By the way, if Deepa is coming, I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not sure. I know she was she was in the courthouse, and she wasn't allowed to take a phone with her. She wasn't even allowed to take a drink with her. Just saying, she wasn't allowed a glass of water. So that's the situation, and how free press observers are being treated at the Old Bailey. Which is insane. If you think about it, right?
Yeah. Kevin Gossola just tweeted that the 95% of this judge's remarks supported prosecution. The one fact that swayed her into refusing the extradition was that the USA prison system is so brutal that it will increase the risk of suicide, and she wasn't willing to put him in an oppressive prison system.
Yeah, which can mean it can mean a good thing for the situation.
Yes.
It can mean a bad thing for the situation. The good thing is the USA won't be able to appeal on the accusations because the judge already agreed with that. So there's no point in to appeal on that. Now, the second is they would have to appeal on the medical situation, right? So they would have to argue that people with Asperger's can be extradited, that they are keeping safe, or they would have to say, no, Assange does not have Asperger's. But doctors and psychologists already determined that he does. And the depression is also obvious. And even the observers like Niels Meltzer and everything said that he is in a really depressed situation due to facing continuous psychological torture and smear campaigns and all these things, and being locked in a embassy first, and then in a little dark cell for years and years. No one, like, even if you're a healthy person without this person, you're going to be depressed too. You can be suicidal too. Like, yeah.
Do we know the timing at this point? What's gonna happen? Not just today, I mean, but in the next weeks. Trying to find something online. Reading an article written by Mohamed El Mazi on Sputnik News that say, however, it is unclear as of yet whether the US government will seek to appeal the decision. The prosecution must request permission to appeal to the High Court within 7 days of the date of the Judge Barazza's decision. This we already know.
I'm just making a quick update too. Yeah, I just mentioned whatever else you read. I mean, the listeners, we need this as an audio recording. We don't know how text tweets or text updates are treated in the near future. We don't know what's going to happen, so we need an audio recording, and we will store everything.
Yeah. Mohamed is writing at the end of his article that Trump could still potentially bring an end to the proceeding against Assange, either by directing the Department of Justice to drop the prosecution case, or alternatively to grant him a preemptive pardon for any alleged offense committed in the indictment against him. I'm not so optimistic about Trump giving pardon to Julian Assange. Glenn Greenwald just confirmed Assange lawyers will request he be released on bail pending US government's appeal. The judge will decide that today. Ordinarily, defendants in these cases remain in jail pending appeal, and this judge emphasized how human his conditions are in the UK. So we'll see. This is Glenn Greenwald.
Okay. Yeah, well, that makes sense now, right? Release him on bail.
Yeah, exactly. And Glenn Greenwald in another tweet is pointing out about the fact that with this decision of the judge, is the judge saying that the US prison system is barbaric, or that they are creating another kind of different historical precedent today, instead of setting this day like the end of democracy, like I was writing this morning on Twitter. Inside the court, they're still waiting the judge Baraitser to come back. Assange is talking with Garrett Pierce. Mark Summers is talking on the phone. This is from Consortium News, Twitter.
Okay. Okay, Hydra Sack, you ask on Twitter, where do we go from here? It's not as simple as checking him out of Belmarsh and done. The lawyers seem to be asking for him to be released on bail now. In the next minutes we will probably hear if he can be released on bail. I'm not sure. It should be. He should be released on bail now.
Yeah, court has resumed. They just tweeted Taylor. The Richard Meadows.
Yeah, I should thank Taylor again for coming on air with us. I know it's not easy to cover this at the same time.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, and Edward Snowden said, let this be the end of it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it should be. Now when he's released on bail, could be the end. If I was him, I would apply for an asylum in a country that doesn't. Yeah.
Yes.
Put you in a hole when the USA asks it, right? I mean, what a joke.
Yeah, adding to this situation, the medic situation of Julian Assange was highlighted by, in this moment on Twitter, by Mary Kostadidis, saying that they should take in account the situation about the COVID in Belmarsh. Because if they really care about the medic situation, Julian, they should take into account also the fact. Gerald tells judge they would like to make bail application on Wednesday. Kevin was dating. Yes, Assange defense is tweeting now. Defense lawyer Ed Fitzgerald says the judgment constitutes the strongest grounds for granting bail, but would like to put all our arguments forward including the condition in Belmarsh. So we wish to make a bail application to you on Wednesday.
Okay, I'm just posting the YouTube chat again that people can ask questions there. This is the
Yep.
easiest.
Yes, another update, very similar. Case is adjourned until Wednesday at Westminster Magistrates Court. USA has officially served notice of appeal. Assange lawyers to make application for bail, including referring to condition at Belmarsh prison.
Okay, so the USA has officially appealed, and in the meantime, the Assange lawyers can ask for bail. Now, this would be logical that it would be granted. We don't know. So, but if the bill is not granted, then yeah, we pretty much nothing changed in the situation. You will still be locked up, and well, we will face appeal charges. Now, I don't know what they would appeal on right now if the judge already agreed with what they said, but stop extradition on medical grounds. Are you now going to appeal on medical grounds? This would be a very strange situation that would also affect others, I think. Meanwhile, hashtag Assange is still trending. Watchman just posted here in the chat. So make sure you jump on the hashtag Assange for a very important reason that mainstream media is all over this now, and the people who want to make his life really difficult, the people who spread the smears about him are on the hashtag, and he needs to be defended also in the public, and just maybe inform the general public about what Assange actually did and why his work is so important. Put out the messages WikiLeaks brought into the world. Now is the moment to educate the masses. I see over 222,000 tweets about this right now. You have an opportunity to educate the world. Use it. Okay, Claudio who on Twitter says either one is born with autism or he's not. This is an excuse to avoid saying they royally fucked up freedom of speech and freedom of the press to please the US. Julian has clearly been suffering for years from being an involuntary recluse. If you are listening to this on the Periscope stream, it will work fine, but you can also jump to the YouTube stream where there is a chat and people are talking. Make sure to share it around too. We will stay up for a while and inform you of all the updates as we just read them from Twitter and other places too.
Watching at the moment the video live in front of the Old Bailey, and I'm glad that at this point they give a little bit more freedom even to reporters and journalists outside. I see a lot of people. later on during the afternoon, I think I will tweet many of the interviews taken by the guys in front of the court, so we can have a picture, all the opinion made live by the people who were inside, connected with the video link.
It's very important too, because oh yeah, hey, someone in chat, Leo Fernandez in the chat, he asked, what bottle did you pop earlier, Il Cattivo?
Sorry?
Leo Fernandez in the chat asks, what bottle did you pop earlier? The bottle you were popping, the drink.
Is Italian spumante.
Yeah, I
Still
mean,
here.
yeah, I mean, you guys can imagine that all of us are very happy. I mean, we've been fighting for this for what, years and years and years. Some of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so when I first came in touch with WikiLeaks is 2008, and 2010, the first attack started against the serious attack started against WikiLeaks, and the site was taken down. We had to set up mirrors for WikiLeaks, decentralize it, and a backup was provided for WikiLeaks to do this. And we've been involved ever since. And at first, the media coverage was very little on what was actually going on with the attacks against WikiLeaks, and later on the pressure was put harder, and more activists started standing up for them too, and more alternative media started writing about this. But you have to imagine, we're talking about over a decade of fighting, and we finally have a little hope, even though it is on medical grounds that maybe it can stop the extradition. This is it, right? So I hope he will be released on bail, and I hope he will finally be able to go home. This has been so much. This has been so long. I mean, being confined into an embassy for, I think, 7 years, and then being put into to a prison, and all this time not being able to see the light of day. This is, if you can imagine, this is a journalist. This is not a criminal. He didn't, when he did his actions, when he published files which showed war crimes committed by the USA and other countries, he didn't consider that he was committing a crime. He considered informing the public about this, and neither he or none of us would ever have imagined this situation to happen. Even though he made a public statement that said that they will chase him to the end of the world and make his life hell, right? But you have to imagine, this is a journalist. He's not a criminal. So 10 years of his life, almost 10 years of his life, were taken because he did a service to the general public. Please realize what's going on there. And yeah, this is insanity.
Yes, but it's incredible to think. If you think, if for 10 years, 10 long years, they not just make Julian disappear, but they distract all the public all over the world, and nobody for 10 years thought, where are the criminals? Because it's okay, there are papers, someone say they should not be revealed, leaks shouldn't be leaked, but what is wrote here, what is here, there has been war crimes. So where are the criminals during all 10 years? During these 10 years, where were the criminals?
Yeah.
They create a narrative for 10 years talking only about the accusation points. Nobody, in example, said nothing about all the accused that fall down during 10 years. Moreover, the last September, when the defense destroyed every single accusation with evidence, with uncontrovertible things, you can say, no, this is not true. All the proofs have been made and bring to the court, to the judge by rights. And until the last moment, journalists all over the world needs to talk about this. They hide totally this case. And this is a black spot that will remain in the history of journalism around the world. And the people should understand now who is a journalist and who is not a journalist. I want to hope that this is an historical day also for this reason. Because from now on, the people must be forced to see the reality of the things. Who is a journalist and who is not a journalist?
Okay, so the news just came in. The defense asked for bail. The case is now adjourned, so it is now all done. It will be postponed till Wednesday. Wednesday there will be a bail hearing, and they're now discussing costs.
Glenn Greenwald was just saying about the media. Given the gravity of this case and the importance of the press freedom, it is scandalous yet revealing how little attention US media paid to it, barely covering the proceedings.
Okay. Okay, we will stay on air for a little while, but so it is okay. So Wednesday is the bail hearing.
We're gonna make some noise from now until Wednesday.
Yeah. So and Fitzgerald is the leader of the defense for Assange. The decision is between continuing with remand or bail. We will make our detailed application on Wednesday. Mr. Assange is at great risk in Belmarsh, and we will have a strict bail package.
What should be natural in this moment, and by the way is not, that for all of us would be amazing example to see for just a second the face of Julian, just to understand how we feel in this moment, how he is, how he looks in this moment, because we all love him, and how they keep hiding everything. Just for what? Just for what?
Yeah. So are there any other updates coming in? There's a lot of opinions, though. I see like a lot of opinions.
Yes.
Yes, of course, Rico. You don't have to ask. You can live stream whatever you want. Just give me the stream keys. Just stream whatever you want. Rico, can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you.
I'm stuffing a sandwich. I'm eating.
It's okay. You can stream whatever you want. Just I'll just send you the stream key. Just stream.
Set up credentials again. I'm going to do this on the laptop.
Yeah. Okay. Or that other channel too, right? You can just stream whatever. I mean, yeah. As long as
we're waiting for updates from the. So why is everybody outside the court building now? Who is coming?
Yes, I'm watching.
Is the defense coming out now, maybe? Or maybe John Shipton or something?
Probably. See Juan Passarelli on the right side, the official video maker for the defense team at WikiLeaks. So I suppose it will be the defense team or other.
They're going to press a statement, and if they do, Mark, or who, any one of us, we need to get the audio on the stream, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Ilkativo is fine if you do it.
Yeah, if you want. Just tell me if it's loud enough to keep it on.
Yeah.
Hear voices in the background.
If anything, you can also use the button to speak. So because sometimes it cuts off, and I think it's because you use audio detection.
Yeah.
In your settings, you can you can click on a little wheel for the settings, and then you click on push to talk, and then you set a button. And if you keep that button pressed in, it records everything, so there will not be any cut off, any error.
So when something happens, people are coming out now. So something happening now, maybe. Who is that guy stepping out of Woolwich? Stepping out of the courtroom.
At the moment, I can't grab the audio at the moment.
Okay.
Some of you guys can grab the audio from the court.
It was said EF Press was live. So that's at EF Press, and he was live a few minutes ago. I know him. I was walking around at the Old Bailey. You probably met him too, Ilkativo. He was always streaming.
Yes. I sent him a chat before, a message before. He was there, passing by in front of RT Live. Oh, yeah, Joe is there. He's always been there every single day since September. So he will send a lot of documents.
So while we're waiting, I want me to share an anecdote about corona travel restrictions in the Netherlands?
Yeah, go ahead. This is also affecting me directly.
It's affecting everybody. So in the Netherlands, there's some weird rule. It was said that before you board a plane abroad, before you're in whatever other country you want to board a plane, the air traveling company needs to verify that you have a negative corona PCR test. Now that's outside of any legal jurisdictions. They're not allowed to do that, and the state was reprimanded for that in a speed court proceeding last Thursday. So the state lost. Over the weekend, they changed the law, and now they found a new ground with which to make Dutch citizens get stuck abroad if they are not able to provide evidence of a negative PCR test. Now, a group of people are going to take the state to court again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Netherlands time. And I'm going to try live stream that through my channel. However, since I've been kicked off of YouTube, I'm looking for another YouTube channel. So that was my request to Mark a moment ago. Now, there's lots of Dutchmen stranded all over the world, not being able to come home now because they're made to find a facility for those tests, so they don't want to be tested. So this court proceedings in the Netherlands is going to be on behalf of dozens of Dutch citizens all over the world. So when we stream it'll probably stream to every corner and every airport where Dutch people are stranded, Mark. That's funny. But basically, the new law says that you need a visa. If you're a Dutch citizen, you need something in addition to your passport to be able to travel home. There is no grounds in our law at all for that.
Many players are taking advantage of the situation pandemic all over the world to change many things very fast, sometimes very subtle way. All of us just take care to choose properly where we get the information. Now more than ever, there is so much fake news all over.
Your
It's very,
audio,
very important.
your audio is breaking up for me, so I don't know what. Maybe you should use push to talk rather than the volume for your mic or something.
Oh, sorry. Try again.
Yeah, that's cool. Now you're good. But you're right, liberties are restricted all over the world currently. But the Dutch are taking the state to court tomorrow again.
Find some updates, but more or less the situation already. The independent journalist outside the court waiting for statement. Do you think, guys, for the connection there is UK and US, the US expect result? What is the reaction over there?
What's going on there, Yogativo? It's a lot of sounds. I don't know, I muted myself again. For some reason I get muted on my own computer. Press a fucking What's going on there, Yogativo? It's a lot of sounds. I didn't press any button. I can tell you, guys, if you are listening here, we have Bill hearing on Wednesday. Well, okay, Watchman is calling now.
Yes, I'm here. You disappear the audio again, yeah.
I don't know, it moves to mute. Maybe I press the wrong button or something, but it mutes on my computer. So for all the people who are listening, you jump on hashtags Assange and hashtags We Are All Assange. We work for weeks and weeks to get these trending, and now they're trending by themselves. And you have the opportunity to show the world what's been really going on. Perhaps do some spread some information like the things WikiLeaks published, right? For whistleblowers and leakers, the information published by WikiLeaks. Now we have the opportunity. All the world's watching. Mainstream people have never even heard of this case. So jump on.
Joseph Farrell is coming out in this moment from the court.
Okay.
Joseph Farrell from WikiLeaks. If someone of us have the audio available to make us listen. It's just pointing in another place from the door, so maybe it's just giving a date to journalists for later. It's coincide again.
Might stay up for a while when this like truly finishes, because there are still statements being made and there are protesters in the streets. People are relatively happy, I think. Some are worried because it doesn't really help free press at all at this point. It only shows some respect to Assange, right? But the fact that the judge agreed with what the Americans said is not a good news for free press at all.
Oh.
So, but it shows that they do acknowledge the bad medical condition he is in, and it has to do also with like Niels Meltzer and others speaking out about the psychological torture and the fact that he is not being kept in a good situation. Now, we mentioned this before on air and stuff too, like when you're prosecuting someone and you want it to be a reliable outcome, an outcome that people can actually respect, and what you do is actually help the person you're prosecuting as much as possible, so he can get the best possible outcome for his own story. Because if you beat him at his strongest, then you win. But if you consistently torture people and make his defense as difficult as possible, don't allow him to speak, and then the outcome of whatever you do is not going to be reliable at all. Like, where he said, like, yeah, the guy can't even speak. Like, you didn't win anything. We're talking about a brilliant person. No matter what you think about him, he is a brilliant person. He's a very high IQ and very knowledgeable at the things he does. The files published, like the Iraq war logs and all these things, he redacted almost on his own. Well, okay, to be fair, he did it together with Ian Overtone, some documents from The Guardian, but they work day and night to redact these things and screen documents. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of documents.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're dealing with an intelligent person, and you would allow him to to defend him. You would allow him every form of free speech. Like I heard the things that he received a laptop in prison that had the keys on the keyboard glued down.
Yes, yeah, I heard.
Yeah, now are you kidding me? Why would you do that to a guy?
Yeah, they found every kind of strategy to torture him in every way.
Okay, so Rebecca Vincent made a statement. So should I put it? I can do it.
Yes, it's on Twitter. There's a
Extradited to the United
statement from Rebecca.
I'm going to do this real quick.
States. We welcome today's decision. We are relieved that Mr. Assange will not be extradited to the United States. We share concerns about his health and his mental health. We have been highlighting this for quite some time, that he has been vulnerable, that we have stated, and I'll repeat today, that his extradition was a possible matter of life or death. So in this regard, this was the right decision. But we were concerned by many other elements of what we heard this morning. It is very clear that on substantive grounds, this country would have handed Mr. Assange over to the United States to face trial there. We disagree with the judge's assessment that this case was not politically motivated. We disagree with her assessment that it was not about free speech. We remain convinced that Mr. Assange has been targeted for his contributions to journalism. As we all know, the publication of the leaked information informed extensive public interest reporting. The public had a right to these stories, and the public still has a right to these type of stories. We're concerned that this decision leaves the door open for further prosecutions in this regard. If this happened to somebody that did not suffer from the mental health issues that Mr. Assange suffers, they could easily be handed over. Somebody else could just as easily be made an example of in the same way. So regardless of the fact that he will now not go to the United States, a clear signal has been sent that the arms of the US can reach everywhere, that journalists everywhere have to be a bit concerned about what they publish, particularly related to national security issues pertaining to the United States government. I would have liked to see a stronger position from this court, and indeed the UK government, in support of press freedom, of freedom of expression, of human rights in this regard. So we continue to make a point on the broader principles here, and note as well that the Espionage Act must be reformed. It lacks a public interest defense. If anybody else is pursued in this way, they cannot adequately defend themselves. No publisher, no journalist, and no source. And here too in this country, the Official Secrets Act lacks public interest defense. So until these broader issues are addressed, journalists remain at risk in this country, in the United States, and internationally.
The spot for the interviews and for statements, final statements, and there is still a journalist waiting in front of the door.
Yeah. So I just had the statement of Rebecca Vincent on air. I'm not sure, Yokativo, you can see if this is still true. Yeah.
Yes, even in Italy is trending the hashtag Assange, only the word Assange.
Okay.
He's also trending WikiLeaks.
Okay, and did read in the orders of 410 that the judge did order the discharge of Julian Paul Assange pursuant to section 91 of the EA 2003. So technically the judge did order that Assange is to be released right now.
Yeah, there is Stella Morris, Christine Ruffson, and Joseph Farrell exit from the court in this moment.
I am uploading the file, the full court document below our stream on Twitter. If you want to read the full court document,
Yep.
then you can find it there. Okay, it's uploaded. You can read the full court document below the stream. I just posted it. We'll probably find it on hashtag #WeAreAllAssange or Assange too.
We're gonna get statements now. Do you want me to audio it?
Yeah.
Let's Stella Morris.
Lower this mic.
Yes, I see.
Not that one! The orange one.
Stella Morris and Kristen Rasmussen are tuning the microphones outside.
Blue one right.
They're being
Get the blue one down! Get the blue one down! This one. Down!
That one there, yeah.
Respect! You put your mics down. Just give me some respect.
Please bear with me because I've had to rewrite my speech. Thank you for coming. I had hoped that today would be the day that Julian would come home. Today is not that day, but that day will come soon. As long as Julian has to endure suffering in isolation as an unconvicted prisoner in Belmarsh prison, and as long as our children continue to be bereft of their father's love and affection, we cannot celebrate. We will celebrate the day he comes home. Today is a victory for Julian.
Yes.
Today's victory is the first step towards justice in this case. We are pleased that the court has recognized the seriousness and inhumanity of what he has endured and what he faces. But let's not forget, the indictment in the US has not been dropped. We are extremely concerned that the US government has decided to appeal this decision. It continues to want to punish Julian and make him disappear
into the deepest, darkest hole of the US prison system for the rest of his life. That can never happen. We will never accept that journalism is a crime in this country or any other. Let's not forget that US agents plotted to kill Julian on British soil. His British solicitors were deliberately targeted by name, and their documents were stolen. Their illegal operations even targeted our 6-month-old baby. It is sickening, and it is also a threat to everyone. On behalf of Julian and myself, I want to thank the millions of people around the world and the institutions that are already calling for this persecution to end. I ask you all to shout louder, lobby harder, until he is free. I call on everyone else to come together to defend Julian's rights. Not just Julian's rights, they're your rights too. Julian's freedom is coupled to all our freedoms, and our freedoms are lost in the blink of an eye. I call on insiders to come forward to expose the full extent of the misconduct that has led to Julian's imprisonment. And I call on the President of the United States to end this now. Mr. President, tear down these prison walls. Let our little boys have their father. Free Julian. Free the press. Free us all. Thank you.
We have all experienced a horrible year in 2020. It has been annus horribilis for most of us. But let's remember it was year 10 of that situation for Julian Assange. But what a moment, a glimpse of hope to start the new year and hopefully a new era. It is a day with win for Julian Assange, but we have to be cautious. It is not necessarily a win for journalism. I want to thank the lawyers for their work in bringing this about, which is quite extraordinary, I am told, on this level of the Magistrate Court. I am concerned that instantly upon giving her decision, the lawyers for the US government indicated they would appeal the decision. They should not. And there should be a call out and pressure on the US side to drop the appeal, to say enough is enough. We've had enough of this. We have plenty to deal with in this new year, but not this. So, as Stella said, I want to say thank you to all the supporters. Many of you are here today. I want to say thank you to all the organizations and the media and the editors that have stepped to the plate and have actually started to support Julian's cause, especially in the last few weeks and months. But let's be cautious in our celebration, in our victory celebration, because the fight is not over. As Stella said, it will be not over until Julian can go home and be with her and the boys. Thank you.
That's it then. And that was the end of that microphone. It was Christian Rafnesson, the last one.
Nobody else?
Okay.
Oh, they're vacating the microphones. People are walking away, walking towards. Oh, they're now waiting for the van with Assange to come out, probably. I think.
What if he jumps out like, I'm here guys, I'm back. Time to release more files.
They just say that the fight goes on. Of course, the fight goes on, but it is a very important step forward. But the fight goes on. That's the thing.
It does.
I'm going to make a short clip of this. I think we should get that thing trending. I mean, Stella and Kristen said things that we should throw on Twitter. Give me a couple of minutes.
Yeah, make a quick video of that. Yeah. Okay, so ABT like it works bad. Yeah, we'll make a. Okay, Rico is making a compilation of the statements they just made, and he will release it separately on Twitter.
Yeah, you'll get it in like 10 minutes, I think.
I can load it into the stream too. Then the quality might be a little better.
Right.
So hold on tight. If you wanna listen to the statements again, we will load it in soon.
A couple of minutes, okay, Mark?
Yeah, of course.
See Ellison and the guys shouting loud in front of the court in this moment.
I can imagine that.
They're going crazy.
I can imagine that Jamie and these people are so happy.
Yes. Jenny, I can't see Joe. I would like to see Joe F press.
Okay, gonna make some. I'm
vividly cheer with the guys in Washington. They were doing the live streaming too about Assange, and I think like us, they are cheering in some way.
If there are any other statements, you can just say it. I'll find it. Yeah, okay, so someone says finally the curse word did something right, now let's get him home. Yeah, okay, so technically the judge already said that he should be released, but because there is like an appeal, we're not sure if that will happen right away. The bail thing will be Wednesday, so yeah, if they agree to it, he will be released, I guess, and then yeah, we'll see what's going to be done. If I were him, I would get far away from the UK, but it's my personal opinion. Would like leave that country instantly, go back to
yes, anywhere.
Yeah, go
almost.
Yeah, meet your fiance and go somewhere where you're safe and where they don't do this kind of stuff to you. That is my honest opinion. Like, get far away from anything related to the United States.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So Rico is working hard on the compilation.
Work.
I still see so much activity. Here the keyword Assange is no longer trending, but the word Assange case is trending now. So you guys jump
Yes.
on that. Many people are messaging me. Yeah, guys, what did you forget? I don't speak Spanish, guys. I just speak English. I will use a translator, whatever, but I can't. Okay. I speak some languages, but not Spanish. I can do German or French for you guys, or Dutch or whatever. But Spanish a little too much. I will.
At least you speak many. I just speak Italian and a very bad English, so that's enough.
My Italian is very hard for me. I mean, know some words, but. I don't want to know how hard French is to learn. I'm from a Germanic area, and like, you know, Dutch, English, German. It's always a little similar, but French, Italian is.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the live from the court, I think, is they shut down at least Sputnik. Not sure if RT is still streaming, but Optili still streaming live from the court.
I notice a lot of the journalists are not even using their hashtags. The independent journalists. I would say if you do report on things and you want the mainstream people to see it, put it in the right hashtags too.
Yes.
Because we all know they will do it. The hostile media. Then they will make sure that they are very much heard on all the hashtags. So what you have to do is the same thing. Okay, Rico says he has the clip down. Okay. Can you upload it somewhere or can you send it? I'm not sure how big the clip is, Rico. Okay. Send a WeTransfer here on Discord or on Twitter, wherever you want. Or drop it just here in the chat, in the Discord chat here. I'll put it in the stream, no problem. Now, you guys are listening. If sometimes we're a little slow, maybe because just reading everything and tweeting on the hashtags and seeing if there's any other update, maybe from the streets, and yeah. And now we're going to broadcast a compilation of statements from Christian Rafson, Stella Morris, and yeah. Because we broadcasted it before, but we got some complaints about the quality. So now you've got it in a better quality.
I see one of the supporters, I can't remember the name in this moment, is arguing with the policeman.
Okay. Okay, Rico just dropped the file. I'm going to download it now and then I'll put it on the stream for you guys. Takes a second. What is a high-speed internet in 2020, right, for me? I could load that into Ilgativo, like the live from Rapley. I mean, we have permission from Rapley to use their footage. So I've been asking it early on when he was taken out of the embassy. I asked permission from them to use their footage and their live streams, and they gave me permission to do it. Just explained, yeah, we don't make any money over there, we don't have ads, nothing, we're just activists, right? We don't. So all we can do is amplify things, and our community is very different from, yeah, like the mainstream where they broadcast to. Yeah. And our stuff, like usually, like when we are live, it doesn't get like super many hits, but later on it gets spread everywhere. I mean, on other platforms, and they're also, like, all the Anons are allowed to like upload it to their own channels and do whatever they want with it. So yeah, that gives a lot of extra exposure to things. I mean, why would we care? We just want the information out.
Yes, that's the point. By the way, they're pushing away the people in front of the court. I see the police.
Let me see if you can throw in the video now. Rico sent. Okay, so you guys will not be hearable now. I'm going to load it in.
All right.
One second. I'll push it to a different folder, Rico. Okay, loading it in now.
I call on the President of the United States to end this now. Mr. President, tear down these prison walls. Let our little boys have their father. Free Julian. Free the press. Free us all. Thank you.
I want to thank the lawyers for their work in bringing this about, which is quite extraordinary, I am told, on this level of the Magistrate Court. I am concerned that instantly upon giving her decision, the lawyers for the US government indicated they would appeal the decision. They should not. And there should be a call out and pressure on the US side to drop the appeal, to say enough is enough. We've had enough of this. We have plenty to deal with in this new year, but not this. So, as Stella said, I want to say thank you to all the supporters. Many of you are here today. I want to say thank you to all the organizations and the media and the editors that have stepped to the plate and have actually started to support Julian's cause, especially in the last few weeks and months. But let's be cautious in our celebration, in our victory celebration, because the fight is not over. As Stella said, it will be not over until Julian can go home and be with her and the boys. Thank you.
Okay, we're live again. Yeah, okay, it's a great video, Rico. Great quality.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so, yeah, what do you guys think of today then? I mean, yeah. Woke up early for this.
At the moment, I prefer still cheering because, as we said before, it's long time we are along a very dark tunnel.
Yeah, definitely. It's been such a long run. And I would cheer when he's released on bail for Wednesday. Then I would cheer and then can finally like leave it a bit behind. And then, yeah, but I think the fight for press freedom just starts right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So announced in Latin America now, very happy, and they say like if you ask me what I want, it's not very difficult to answer, or I'm asking too much. I want something as simple as all rights to freedom of thought. Said it. I want Assange to be released, as well as all activists who are in detention, to silence their right to freedom of expression.
Yes, exactly.
Yesterday was good, however, it also set the stage for something way worse. None of the technical parts of the court proceedings worked. The only thing that worked was his health. Now the only thing the United States needs to do is guarantee him a proper facility in which to slowly die. So I'm not hopeful for an appeal. I hope Trump does something.
He should, to be honest. I mean, yeah. He ran on supporting WikiLeaks during his first election, and now he kind of like ignores the whole thing, it seems. But okay, so and we have Leanne the Hart saying this is the most humane thing ever. Well, okay, I mean, if you guys know about Leanne the Hart, her son was in prison for almost a decade, tortured by the FBI for having a so-called dead drop server where people could drop files in, and there were some so-called FBI agent exposing some things, and he was arrested when he tried to cross the border, and he was put in prison, and he faced horrible times in prison too. So We give a shout out to Leanne the Hart. She's been watching this case too all this time, and that's personally affected her because, of course, yeah, you can see what the establishment does to whistleblowers, to people publishing things whistleblowers expose about corruption and about serious crimes. And why would Assange be in jail and not the actual criminals? We're talking about war crimes, visible war crimes. People being murdered in front of us from Apache helicopters. That's what we're dealing with. Why is none of these people arrested? Why are they? Why aren't they in jail? Who are they even? Right? Guys, is there anything else we should mention? Should we keep the stream up, or do we continue Wednesday or something?
Well, yeah, I think is everything being said? Yes, the point is just to keep fighting and watch out about what is going on, because we know that everything can change very fast when we have to deal with this kind of powers, and we know this from the past. So just keep on fighting, update each other with our channels, and keep campaigning online and on the street where it's possible.
You stop the stream here. Mark, if you're ready, I'd like to configure the YouTube thingy with you through a different channel.
Yeah, all good. Okay. Okay, I'll end this stream now, and to everyone who's listening, please keep sharing and get to the hashtags Assange case, hashtag WikiLeaks, hashtag We Are All Assange. All these hashtags are still very popular. Some are trending. Jump on it, and if not for attention, but to actually inform the general public about the whole situation and the things WikiLeaks released, and why this is very important for press freedom. Because you have an opportunity now for the normal people to see actually what this is about, and they search for sports matches online or Christmas presents and these things, right? They're not getting involved with any of this. So, but now they can see you, so make use of it. Don't let this the mainstream corrupt media take it all over. That's not an option. Oh yeah, Enrico, I saw your post. There's also like free Julian Assange now, free Assange now. Those hashtags, you will find all of those, and keep pushing on it.
But today was a good day, Mark.
Better than expected, yeah.
I think this was the demonstration in Amsterdam. Personally, what do you think?
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so guys, we'll be ending the stream. Thanks everyone for listening, and keep sharing. Thanks. Thanks you guys, by the way, Rico, Ilka Tifo, thanks for coming on.
Thanks to you. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks a lot.
And thanks to Taylor, of course, for jumping on and giving us the quick updates about the stuff that happened. I know it's not easy for her while watching the stream, so appreciate that too. Okay, good. Have a nice day, guys, and celebrate a little, and